Hello and welcome to another episode of Technical Analysis Master Series by ChartMojo. Today we are going to talk about Dow theory, its principles, and how it is still relevant in today's market. So let's start. So coming to the introduction, Dow theory was introduced to the world by Charles Dow, who also founded the Dow Jones Financial News Service, now known as the Wall Street Journal. He wrote these series of articles in the 1900s and which was later referred to as the Dow theory. So the basic use of Dow theory is to help investors to read the charts and to understand what is happening with the asset at any given moment. And this simple analysis also helps inexperienced traders to understand the financial instrument they are involved in. So moving on to the principles of Dow theory, there are six main principles. We'll start with the first one, which is known as market discounts everything. It simply means that stock market discounts or prices in all the information there is available in the public domain. Even if there is any unexpected event that occurs, the stock market quickly recalibrate itself to reflect the accurate value. It even involves acts of God because while the market cannot anticipate such events as earthquakes or maybe a volcano, but they quickly discount such occurrences and almost instantaneously takes their effect into the price action. So it is very difficult for you to trade based on events because market very quickly recalibrates, and if you are not quick enough you won't be able to make money out of it. Now, before moving on to the second principle, we'll talk about the trends. So there are basically three trends: uptrend, downtrend, and sideways. So what is uptrend? Uptrend is simply when the price is making higher highs and higher low. As you can see, the chart is making higher highs and higher lows all the time. Higher high means the high which it makes, it's higher than the previous high, and the low it makes is higher than the previous low. That is uptrend. Unless this trend is broken, it will continue to remain in uptrend by making higher highs and higher lows. In case of downtrend, it is completely opposite to uptrend because you can see the stock is making lower highs and lower lows. As you can see, it is just continuously going down and down. Unless this trend is broken, we'll continue to call it a downtrend because its next high is always lower than its previous high. And the last trend is sideways trend. You know, market is generally in sideways trend most of the time, and it is very difficult for any investors to make money during these times. It's only traders who can make, the swing traders who can make money out of it because they buy low and they sell high. They can keep doing it till the trend is broken it and the market gives another sense of direction. Maybe it can go up or go down, but till then it is very difficult for investors to make money during sideways trend. Now, because you have understood uptrend, downtrend, and sideways trend, we'll move to the second principle. The Dow theory says that market has three kinds of trends: primary trend, secondary trend, and minor trend. Let's look into the primary trend first. So primary trend is a major trend of the market and it lasts from a year to several years. It helps you to understand the direction of the market in terms of multi-year time frame. So if you see a stock, if you zoom out the chart and you see a trend, then you can identify if the stock is going up, down, or is it sideways. That is what a primary trend looks like. So long-term investors are only interested in primary trends, but active investors are interested in all kinds of trends because they trade actively in the market and they want to make money out of every change, every move in the stock market. Second, moving on to secondary trend. Secondary trend is, it looks like a correction to the primary trend. So if a price is going up, then when it retraces, that you can call that retracement as a secondary trend. It is a minor counter reaction to the larger movement of the market, and secondary trend lasts between any few weeks to several months. Let's see a chart where you can compare secondary trend with primary trend. Now this is a theoretical depiction of primary and secondary trend so that it you can understand it better. This linear line is the primary trend. If you zoom out any chart, you can see such graphs like Nifty. If you see, this is what it will look like, and these ups and downs are the secondary corrections or the secondary trend. I hope you have understood primary and secondary trend. Now let's move on to minor trend. And minor trend is usually the smallest of all. It lasts between like days to weeks only. It represents fluctuations in the secondary trend itself. So in other words, primary trend is nothing but daily fluctuations in the market, and some traders even prefer to call them market noise. Traders try to make money by exploiting minor and secondary trend, but they do keep an eye on the primary trend also. So here is a depiction of all the three trends. As you can see, this linear line is the primary trend. The black retracements are the secondary trend, and the red turbulences or the volatility are the minor trends. I hope you have understood what these three trends look like. Now moving on to the third principle, which says that major trends have three phases. This is a very interesting thing to know about, and it is actually very significant even in today's market. So let's see what it is. So Dow focused his attention on primary and secondary trend. He felt that these trends usually take place in three distinct phases. The first one is the accumulation phase, second is public participation or markup phase, and the third phase is called distribution or markdown phase. So let's see what accumulation phase is. Accumulation phase, it represents informed buying by the most astute investors. Astute meaning these people have smart money and they have knowledge about the market. So before accumulation phase, there is a distribution phase. That's when the market is in a downfall. So what people with smart money do is they try to buy during this phase because they think that market has priced in all the so-called bad news. It can be economy news, it can be stock specific news or market in general. So what people with smart money do is they try to accumulate stocks during this phase because they find value in these stocks. A steep sell-off in the market would have frustrated, many participants, losing hope of any uptrend in prices. Because institutions starts buying at this level regularly and retailers are selling their stocks regularly, a good support zone is formed which stops price from falling to further levels. As you can see, this is an example of accumulation phase. This is Nifty during the 2008 crash. After a steep fall, the institutions, they started accumulating stocks in the Nifty 50, and this is when Nifty formed a support zone because retailers were still selling and they were wary of another downfall. So they were selling the stocks, but at the same time, institutions were buying. This is what forms an accumulation phase. Moving on to the markup phase. So this is a phase where most technical trend followers begin to participate. This what happens is after institution starts buying, and this is mostly preceded by good news in the economy and the stock prices starts moving up. This is when trend followers and people with good knowledge of the stock market start buying the stocks because they see a trend in the market. During the markup phase, the stock prices rallies quickly and sharply. Because the rally is so quick, the public at large, who are not following any trends, who are not doing any technical analysis or whatsoever, they don't buy these stocks because there is a fear among them that the price might deteriorate even further. But as you can see, this example, this is still the continuation of the previous chart. This is Nifty again. After that accumulation phase, that Nifty moves up very swiftly, and it gives a little to no chance to the retailers who don't follow trends to invest in the stock market. Now comes the distribution phase. So what happens is after the markup phase, all the newspaper begins to print increasingly bullish stories, and the economy news is better than ever. So because people can read these positive news, they also want to start investing their money. But what happens is during this phase, the investors, the smart money people who invested their money when the stock market was in accumulation phase, they start to offload their shares at this price. And because the retailers are buying the stock and institutions are selling these stocks, it creates a well needed price resistance level above which the price doesn't move. So this is what a distribution phase looks like. It has a similar price property as that of an accumulation phase. So whenever the price attempts to go higher in the distribution phase, the smart money offloads their holdings over a period of time. This action repeats several times and thus the resistance level is created in the market. Moving on to the fourth principle, which says that the averages must confirm each other. By average, Dow meant that the indices of the market, like for example in India, there is Nifty 50, there is Sensex, there is Nifty IT, Metal, all those kinds of indices. So what Dow meant that no important bull or bear signal could take place unless all the averages gave the same signal. So in case if you see that Nifty Bank is going up, but Nifty Metal is going down, Nifty 50 is going down, then you can't clearly say that the market is in a bull run. I hope you have understood the point that all the market indices should be in tandem and move in the same direction to confirm that signal, be it bearish or bullish. Moving on to the fifth principle, it says that the volume must confirm the trend. Charles Dow considered volume as a secondary factor but also important factor to confirm price signals. So what this means that volume should expand or increase in the direction of the major trend. Let's see what it exactly means. So as you can see in this chart, when the price is going up and the volume is rising, it means a strong signal. But when the price is going up and the volume is falling, it is considered as a weak bullish signal. So in this case, the market, it is not necessary that market will keep going up. It can also be a signal of a reversal. So in this case, if the price is going up and the volume is falling, there might be a reversal in the chart. And similarly, if the price is going down and the volume is rising, it is considered as a strong bearish sign. And when the price is going down but the volume is contracting or falling, it is considered as a weak bearish sign. So whenever volume is rising, the trend is supposed to continue in that direction only. And when the volume is falling, it might be a sign of weak bullish or weak bearish signal. We will be making a video on volume analysis in details in our upcoming videos. It is also an important part of technical analysis. Moving on to the last principle, it states that a trend is assumed to be in effect unless it gives a definite signal that it has reversed. So I'm sure all of you must have heard about that physics law which states that an object is in motion and tends to continue in motion unless some external force causes it to change its direction. Same thing happens with the trend according to Dow theory, that a trend will continue to remain in the trend unless there is a strong signal that it is about to reverse. So you need a strong sign from the market to be assured that the market has changed its direction. Unless you see higher highs, higher lows changing to lower highs and lower lows, you can't be sure that market has changed its direction. And now coming to the most difficult task for anyone who follows Dow theory is to be able to distinguish between a normal secondary correction or the market retracement for a primary trend, or considered it as a first leg of a change in the direction. So it is very difficult to know if it is just a retracement or a beginning of a change in new direction. And this is the most difficult task for anyone who follows Dow theory. So that's it for today. I hope all of you have understood the importance, the principles of Dow theory. And it is still very relevant in today's market, and that is only because of human psychology and human behavior when it comes to trading in the stock market. So if you want to be an intelligent investor or a trader, you have to start thinking how institutions think about the stock market, when they buy, when they sell, because institutions know how to trap retail traders, and that's when everyone lose their money. So that's it for today. I'll see you in a couple of days time with a new video on chart patterns. Do share it with people who want to learn technical analysis and start trading in the stock market. Till then, stay safe, go out only if it's absolutely necessary, and don't forget to wear your mask.